So we'll have to go with the new concept today, that is supply chain management. This is very similar to the previous concept, that is supply chain. This was the only base concept of supply chain. Now that was more systematized, and they gave a proper form for it, which is known as supply chain management. This is popularly known as SCM. So let us understand what is the supply chain management. And there are many processes under supply chain management. Firms, you compulsorily use supply chain management if it's a manufacturing firm, especially manufacturing, because only for them this long channel of distribution or other, not only long, short also can be added up. So let us understand what is SCM. So it's a set of processes and sub-processes which attempt to implement and optimize the functions of connected entities and interacting elements of a supply chain. So here you will have not only one process, but you will also have sub-process. Now main process is manufacturing, but for that sub-process may be getting the raw materials, then after manufacturing, packaging, marketing part, all these will be sub-processes. So this SCM includes process as well as sub-process, which will always help the company to make things better or make things easier for people to work on. And a lot of interaction happens between one process and another. Now in any industry you will have production department separately, raw materials are kept separately, stock is maintained separately, then finance is a different department, accounting is a different department, designing is a different department. Like this, lot of departments will be set up, and each of the department is supposed to interact with each other and work together. So that interacting elements will be added in the supply chain. Then SCM is the management of a network of all business processes and activities involving, see, it starts from, this business process of SCM starts from procurement of raw materials. Now yesterday we saw the supply chain here in the diagram. So this diagram holds good even for SCM. So here, starting from procuring the raw materials. Now raw materials will be given by these suppliers. Okay, procuring of raw materials, then manufacturing of the product, then to the distribution, then giving it to retailer and selling it to customer. All this will be a part of your SCM. So it starts from procurement of raw materials, manufacturing and distribution management of finished goods. Now distribution management comprises of many things. Distribution is not done to one particular town or one particular village or one small place. Distribution has to be done throughout the state, first starting with city, then state, district, then state, then you will have country, then to other countries also. Import export also will be included. So that is what SCM means. Now let us see the meaning given by few of them. It is the planning and controlling of all processes. It's not only planning. You don't only plan from whom you have to buy raw materials. You also have to control all of these procedures. Simply purchase of too much of raw material and keeping in stock also is waste. So when it is required, what is the quantity required? You will have to buy the raw materials. So that is planning and controlling of all the processes, not only with raw material, other processes also. That link partners in supply chain together in order to serve the needs of end customer. So that these processes of SCM is going to link the partners. Now let us see what all processes are involved. Raw material supplier. He is one person who is very, very important in giving us the raw materials. Then the manufacturer who actually manufactures the product. The distributor who will take the products from manufacturer and make sure it reaches the wholesaler or retailer. Then wholesaler, this person sells the product in bulk. And then retailer is the person where we as customers approach. Then you have transporter. Transporter means this is one person who links between all of them. Okay, he links between supplier, manufacturer, then distributor, wholesaler. He just keeps going from one place to another. He supplies the raw materials to manufacturer, finished goods to distributor, then again finished goods to the wholesaler, again finished goods to retailer. Like this, he acts link between everybody. Okay, and so and warehouse keeper. Warehouse keeper is nothing but he's a person who will maintain the stock in the godown. So that is called as warehouse person. One second. So all of these people are the link partners in the supply chain. Now, using all of them only, we will be able to maintain the supply chain in the company. Now, one definition that is given to us, let us see this definition also. It's given by Institute of Supply Management. Okay, there's one institute called for the supply management only, and they have defined the supply chain management as the design and management of seamless value-added processes across organizational boundaries to meet the real needs of end customer. Now, let us take one product for example. Now, in present situation, hand wash. Let's take hand wash, not sanitizers, but let's just take hand wash for now. Now, hand wash is supposed to be delivered. There is a lot of demand for hand wash product. Doesn't matter which company. Okay, hand wash manufacturing is happening. Now, since the demand is more, the production also must increase. Okay, if they produce more of hand washes, so they will be able to give more hand washes to the market. So which means they have very less time. Okay, they have very less time in manufacturing. If at all they don't use proper supply chain management, they will not be able to give hand wash products to the customers. Whenever the demand is high and the time is less, they'll have to be very, very quick in doing their production. So at that point of time, they must use supply chain management. This will make sure that the product, that is the raw materials which is taken from the suppliers, and manufacturer manufactures it very quickly within a certain period of time, and the packaging is done quickly. They do more than 2 to 3 shifts every day, so that the machine runs continuously. There are employees who work continuously, maybe in shifts. Okay, so this SCM will make it seamless. Okay, it will make it very perfect, and it will make the products reach the customers very, very nice on perfect time and without boundaries. So they don't have any limitations of times as in the normal way, like 9 to 5 only they work, 10 to 4 only they work. It's not like that. Okay, so they will extend their timings, work, and get the product out. Then value added processes. Apart from their normal process, if at all they find any time saving ways or time saving steps, they will add up that also to deliver the hand wash quickly when there is more demand. Then this value added processes will be put across organization borders to meet the real needs. See, if you see SCM, it is talking about real needs. Okay, now the real need is for such products of hand wash or hand sanitizer or mask and all of this. So this SCM will make or will put the things onto the track where everything happens perfectly and the products are able to reach the end customer as quickly as possible. Okay, so this is one of the example. You can take any product here. Every product at any point of time they use or they follow SCM to make sure things are going on very smoothly in production. So this is a representation of the process or the procedure of supply chain management. It starts from raw material. If you see the number is 1 here, and then the raw material is being supplied by supplier, and this supplier will make sure it reaches the manufacturer. Now I already told in the other way, this supplier is one person where he will have many people below him. So he will be able to procure raw materials from many people and he will be giving that to manufacturer. Then manufacturer will use all the raw materials and he will manufacture in his industry, which after manufacturing will go to distribution. Now distribution, once they do the distribution will be done to wholesaler, the distribution will be done to retailers. Okay, now once it reaches the wholesalers, then it reaches the retailers. Now from there, either through store or through website, customer is gonna buy the product. Now in present scenario, they'll have to reduce this time also. So the manufacturer directly may do the distribution to the retailer only instead of other person in between. Okay, so these are few processes, or these are the basic process of supply chain management. There are many variety of process added in between. You can have more people here before distribution, that is maybe marketing, or you can have packaging people who also do the marketing and distribution. Then again you will have wholesalers. In between wholesalers and retailers you can have agents. So like this, it can have many forms here, but this is the basic form of supply chain management. Okay, hope everybody understood the concept. Any doubt in the concept? Okay. Let's go on. Next, importance of supply chain management. Now, this supply chain management or these strategies are the backbone of the businesses today, because they like it to be very systematic. They like it to be very well organized. So there is no too much of interference of people or interference of management. They want the system to go on smoothly. So this supply chain management or SCM has become the major backbone. So if a new product is launched in the market, it should be ensured that the availability of the product is effective in the retail store. Now, even if you see at this point of time, they are making sure that all the essential groceries or pulses, cereals and other essential items, okay, not only eatables but other essential items are also available without saying out of stock. Okay, so that also, supply chain management also plays a role in these out of stock or maintaining the proper stock of items also implies here. So let us see a few of the other importances. Increased customer satisfaction. Now if your supply chain is proper, if you are able to deliver products on time and the sales are happening very good, which means the customers are satisfied by your product and the customers have no complaints about your product. So which means you can go on and sell more number of units, or you can come out with any offers or discounts and increase your sales. That is also another way. But customer satisfaction is a very major role. That plays a major role, because any point of time you will never say them there is no stock. So that is the first point. Next, reduced cost. Now where can you reduce cost? If you plan properly, the cost can be reduced mostly in transportation. That is where the first cost or the first point where every company incurs more cost. But it cannot be avoided completely. So you can only reduce to little extent. And other place where you can reduce the cost is your inventory. So you have to see how much inventory are you supposed to maintain. Inventory is the stock which you buy, or the raw materials which you buy for the production. Now if I am producing 100 units of a product, okay, if I am producing 100 units of a product, let's say for 100 units of a product, okay, I require 5 kg of raw material A and I require 10 kg of raw material B. Okay, so which means to produce 100 products, I should only keep in stock 5 kg of A and 10 kg of B. Or for any emergency purpose, I can just add 1 more kg extra. So I can keep 6 kgs of 6 kgs of A and 11 kgs of B, not more than that. Why I should not buy too much of inventory or too much of raw materials? Because to maintain the raw material, again I have to spend money. I have to make sure the raw material is safe inside a separate building, and I have to maintain an accounts for that. Okay, now this raw material, let's take for example, this raw materials are the major raw materials are plastic. Now plastic will come like grains, you get plastic grains. Okay, that plastic grains are melted and then it is put into mold to make any plastic products. Now if it is plastic grain, I should make sure that the plastic grain has a proper temperature where I store it. If the heat increases too much, there are chances of melting it down, or if it is too cold, it's no problem. But you cannot put it under too very cold, or if you cannot put it into the freezer all the time also. Okay, it needs to have certain proper temperatures to be maintained. So in that case, I have to spend more cost, or I have to spend more money in maintaining these raw materials if I buy them extra. So there is something called EOQ, that is economic order quantity. So I make sure I only buy the raw materials how much ever is required. So I calculate this economic order quantity and I only order the quantity which is required. So that will reduce and keep my cost in place. So that is the next importance. Then these are the first two importance, that is increased customer satisfaction and reduced cost. Now the next importance is mutual trust among channel partners. Channel partners are in between wholesaler and retailer, in between manufacturer and distributor. So they need to maintain good trust. So the manufacturer also should select a proper distributor, and distributor also should distribute the products very sincerely, or he should do his work properly. That is the major intention. So always this supply chain depends mostly on trust. Okay, you believe that the other person will be delivering the product so that the customer or the end consumer will get your product. Okay, so the connection is possible only when there is better medium for information sharing between partners. Now with the technology, you have many mediums to share the information. That's not a problem. You can also write to manufacturers directly. As consumers, you can write to manufacturers, you can complain to if you have any problem, you can complain to retailer, which goes to wholesaler. All this can be done in today's time. Okay, but at the end of the day, what is required among these people are the mutual trust and the proper working environment, or they are supposed to do their work properly. Then efficient manufacturing strategy. Now there should be a timeline set. Now how you have timeline for one semester, like when do we start a semester, which programs will be done in the semester, the academic calendar. Okay, now we are going to do one guest lecture for this month, we will do one program for this month, another program in the coming month, and then you will in the odd semesters you will have these programs, in the even semester you will have these programs. So we make a plan out of it. Similarly, in the manufacturing industry, they'll also have to make a calendar kind or a timeline. Now timeline is from the time they receive the raw material until they produce and the customer get the product, how many days or how many months will it take. Okay, now so they will have an idea of how much production has to be done every day. So now let's take an example. The same mask which was ordered. Okay, now they had supposed to get good number of masks. Now how many days does it take to manufacture? Let's take for example 10,000 masks. Okay, how many days does it take to manufacture 10,000 masks? Now if your company is too big, in one day or maximum 2 days or one lot only you can manufacture 10,000 masks and give it to them. Or if your company is slow, your company is small and your machineries are less, okay, where the capacity for one time the capacity is only 1,000 masks. In such case you will take one day or 2 days, maximum 2 days time. So you have a timeline now. So 10,000 masks you require, I will give it to you within 2 days. Okay, so that is the timeline which you can give for when anybody orders the product. So that is the manufacturing strategy. And how can you reduce the time? That also must be thought of. Okay, now when they say semester, it is 6 months. In out of 6 months, we only get 3 to 3.5 months for you to complete the syllabus. The rest time will go in the programs. You will have festival holidays coming in. You will have study holidays involved, exams being involved. There are so many other factors which will be included in 6 months. So similarly, here manufacturing strategy, how within very less time, how can I give the product to the customers? Then improves process integration. Okay, it will improve the process integration from one process to other process. How easily can I send the products? Now if one machinery is making the major mask, the other machinery is putting out the elastics for the mask. Now how can I make the process continuous, so I can reduce the time? So that also, when I do that, that will improve the integration, that will make my products that will make the manufacturing process very easier. Then improves profit and increased cash flow. Now once you are ready to give the products fast, or once you're able to reduce your manufacturing time or the cycle, which means there are more products in the market. If customers are satisfied by your product, it will increase the sales, which will give you more profit. Now when you get more money into the company, that will increase your cash flow along with the profits of the firm. Then improves quality and gives higher profit margin. Now as in when you get more profit, when you invest that back into the company to make it grow, and you give good quality products, this is very important, you give good quality products, you get back more profit. Okay, now here it is not only profit, it is profit margin, the percentage of the profit that you get. So these are few importance of SEM, starting from increased customer satisfaction. It will reduce the cost of maintaining the inventory, or it will reduce the cost of transportation which is required. Then if everybody has mutual trust between their channel partners, that is wholesalers, distributors, retailers, manufacturers, suppliers, then it is even easier for them. Then efficient manufacturing strategy, they have to make sure they reduce their manufacturing time so that the products are reaching the market on time. And they also have to improve their process integration, which will help them in making the manufacturing process very smooth. Then improve profits and increased cash flow. Once they give out the products on time and customers are satisfied, it will increase the cash flow into the company along with the profits. Along with this, if they give good quality, then they will be able to get even more profit than the basic. Okay, so these are importance of supply chain management, important 6 marks question. So this has been asked in exam. Any doubts in these two slides? Did you all understand? So let us finish benefits of SCM. The points are very similar to the importance except few of them. Let's quickly go through this. Benefits of supply chain management, inventory reduction. As I already explained, I need not maintain too much of inventory, which I gave an example of 100 units manufactured. I only require 5 kg of A and 10 kgs of B products to manufacture 100 units. So I will only maintain so much. If I require, I will again order for it. So that once I reduce the inventory, that will also reduce a lot of cost in maintaining the inventory. Then productivity improvement. Since I am reducing the cycle or the timings by properly tracking the production using SCM, so I will be able to manufacture more products in less number of time or in less number of hours. So that will improve my productivity. Then that is personnel reduction, that is employee reduction. Now when you add up to the new technologies or when you follow certain ways, so you can reduce the number of employees, which will be helpful for you to reduce the cost also. Now all of these factors will help you in cost reduction. Okay, the SCM always helps in cost reduction. Then high customer satisfaction. Since you are able to give out the products on time with good quality, customers will be satisfied. Increased profit. Since customers, see, all of these factors are interrelated. Okay, so since customers are satisfied, they will buy more of your product, which means the profit will be more for the company. On time delivery fulfillment. Now once they order the product, they should be able to get the product within so many days. And if you are able to give the product within, let's say for example, they have within 2 days you were supposed to give 100 masks. Now after one day, okay, after one day, in one day you have manufactured or produced all the masks. Now the next day morning you deliver the mask. It is on time delivery, even more even than on time, early delivery. So everybody is happy about the production process and the delivery of the company. Better cash management. So since inventory is kept only for certain period and you're reducing cost, you're reducing the employees, too many employees, you're getting more profit, then you'll be able to maintain the cash in the company better. Which doesn't mean that you pile up the cash in the company. You only maintain what is required. Rest of the cash or the money will be in the bank account. Then better order management. Order management means the supplier has to be paid on time. He will give you the raw material for production. You take the raw material, you produce the product, and you forget to pay the supplier for the raw material at all. That is not the right thing. Once you receive the product, you have to pay the money to the supplier also. And that can be done, or that can be maintained properly in SCM. So these are few benefits. So all the process or all the points here are interrelated. So once you understand the concept, you will be able to write all of this on your own. This can be asked for 2 marks. Write any 2 benefits of SCM, or overall together SCM can be asked for 14 marks as a concept. Write a note on SCM. Okay, that can be asked. Now let's quickly see few advantages and disadvantages. Supply chain management, it will reduce the product losses in transportation and storage. So since you have a proper count of how many products you're sending and how many you're able to manufacture within short time, in transportation also you will make sure the products reaches to the proper place and it is stored properly. So that will reduce the product losses. Then dissemination of technology, advanced techniques, capital and knowledge among the chain partners. Everybody wants to use new technology. They want to understand what are the advanced techniques where they can make the things much easier, and it is smoother for them to maintain everything, and it is also less time consuming. So that is also important. So all the chain partners here are distributors, wholesalers, retailers, all of them are called as chain partners. So all of them will be able to give out more and more ideas and also maintain the stock properly. Better information about the flow of products, markets, and technology. Again, these people will work together and give more information about it. And SCM also will keep updating you about what is the trend in the market, how are technology used, what is the latest thing that we are supposed to follow. All that will be given. Then transparency, tracking and tracing or to the source. So there will be GPS attached to the transportation, or they will give some reference numbers to track where is the goods going on now. All this will make it very transparent. Okay, the process will make it very transparent, and it is easy for everybody to answer the customers. Better control of product safety and quality. Now product safety is very important, especially doesn't matter any whichever product it is, but if you are able to deliver the product to the customer damage free, then you are the winner. So safety of the product from the product side as well as the quality side will improve the profitability. Then large investment and risks are shared among partners in the chain. Sometimes if there are new investments, then company always welcomes these partners, that is the wholesalers, distributors and all of them, to invest some amount into the company so they can work together always. So that is also one of the advantage of SCM. So these are the advantage which will always help them to have a better notion. Okay, so these were advantages. Any doubts until here? Okay. So next are SCM principles. I'll just quickly finish that off because it's almost a repetition of all the points. Okay, so let's see what are the principles. Very, very important 14 marks question. What are the SCM principles, or state the principles of SCM? These will be asked. So first one, supply chain adapts to client's demand. So client may be any retailer or maybe customer. Now these people will have to demand. Now when it comes to the same hand wash only, there may be lot of demand. How do the company know that there is demand? They will get lot of calls from the distributors, or they'll get calls from the retailers directly for the order of the products. Okay, so this supply chain has to adapt to whatever demand it comes, and they have to manufacture the product. And there's something called segmentation. Okay, let's see what is that. In order to understand customers better, the customers are broken down into various groups called segmentation. Customers will be divided into segmentations. Now segmentations to understand is customers who prefer too much of hand wash. If they have ordered, or let's take like this, customers who use hand wash too much, like they will be washing their hands some 10 to 12 times a day. Okay, so they are one group. The other group is who wash their hands for 5 to 6. The other group is 2 to 3 times. So like this I categorize for one product. That is one way of categorizing. That is one segment. The other way of categorizing is according to geographical area. So nearby manufacturing plant, or far away from manufacturing plant, other cities, all this will be the other segments. Then customize logistic network profitable. We will be seeing logistic networks separately. Logistic networks is nothing but they make sure that the transportation reaches onto the right place and right time. They only do the distribution work here, and that is very important for a company, because no matter how much they produce, if it doesn't reach the customer, then it is waste. So logistics is grown as a very, very good segment now, or very popular part or the work of the company. Now, after segmenting the customers based upon the service requirements, logistic networks can be customized to serve the various segments. Now, another example for logistic is you order on Amazon. Okay, once you order, you will get those tracking. It will say product has reached, Bangalore. Product has reached your nearby area. Now, all this transportation which happens in between is done by logistic network people. So the person who takes the product from the nearby godown and who makes sure it delivers to you, they all are part of logistic network. Then aligned demand planning across supply chains. So they, again, demand planning is very important. So just because there is demand for let's say 1 crore units of the product, okay, I cannot just go on and produce everything. So I have to produce, or I have to manufacture the products in batches, make sure that is sold, and again go on with the production. I have to see the market signals, whether the demand is too high or too low, or how the demand is changing. Today the demand may be too high. After 3 days the demand will go down. Again after 2-3 days again demand will come up. So just keeping that in mind, I cannot go on and produce too much products or stop my production. I have to keep myself updated about the market and plan my production. Then differentiate products closer to client. So products closer to customer has to be given very quickly, because they cannot wait for the products to come out again. Now, if you give a gap, or if you are delivering late in your product, customers always will have another substitute for the product to buy. So always make sure your product reaches them first. Then manage sources of supply strategically to reduce the total cost of owning materials and services. This work is for the company. So the company is supposed to maintain the materials and services which is required only. They need not make it, or they need not have too much of inventories, because again maintaining the inventories is also an added cost. So they have to reduce their total cost, which means they have to only maintain how much ever is required. And then develop a supply chain wide technology strategies. Now these SCMs are also computerized. A lot of technology is being applied, so you have many softwares available for SCM in the market. So they will be using those softwares, or they can also customize the software. So they'll use such softwares to maintain the supply chain strategies or steps. It will also help in decision making. How decision making, which product to buy, which raw material is good to buy, how can I maintain the quality of the product, and which are the ways I should adapt, so the transportation cost comes down, or I will be able to reduce the time. Okay, if I am supposed to send the hand wash from place X to place Y, okay, and this, let's say, is of 50 kilometers far. This is for example. Now which ways should I opt so that the product reaches early for this from X to Y? So that also can be known using SCM. Then adopt channel spanning performance measures to gauge collective success in reaching the end user effectively and efficiently. So by doing all of this and many more procedures, we will be able to reach the end user effectively and efficiently. So every month when you buy some groceries, or when you buy the essentials which is required for home, in that case, if you are able to get the products whichever you are expecting, the SCM is playing the role properly. If you have to wait for the product and you're not able to get it anywhere, then there might be some situation that is happening in the company. So these are the major principles of supply chain management. Any doubt in this slide? Did you all understand? Okay. So let's stop here for today. We'll continue tomorrow.